my favorite part is when they like Abdul Carter's the most can't miss. He's can't miss. Okay, well, tell that to Courtney Brown supporters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Browns have already drafted that guy before, and I don't think enough people are. He doesn't fit our defensive scheme. Like just as much as the quarterback fit matters on offense, we're going to ask this guy to do like what Miles does, to put his hand on the ground at 240 pounds and try to bull rush tackles. We won't stop a nosebleed off the edge. Teams will rush right at him for 300 yards a game. Miles is a freak. He weighs 295 pounds and moves like he weighs 220. Abdul Carter moves like he's 220, but that's because he weighs 240. It's just he needs to be a handoff. He needs to be a TJ Watt scheme type player, in my opinion, not a hand on the ground bull rush tackles. I don't see that. I just don't see that as a fit in what we want to do. We want to play a wide nine. He's not going to stop the run.
I think a big part of it too is Browns fans, like they're clinging to the hope that the defense is like the heart of this unit. You know what I mean? I think that they're like, that's the good part of this team right now. And they're like, well, imagine if we just throw this ball hawk guy out there and just imagine the possibilities. I'm with you, Blake. I think you got to take a quarterback. And then if they, let's say for some reason they don't, there's something we don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's blatantly like, it's our biggest weakness. It's our biggest hole. I will say, I'm on board with you. If they don't take a quarterback, the only way I think I'm like super stoked about moving forward is I could be on board with Travis Hunter at wide receiver, big time. I mean, I don't know how big you guys are on. Josh, I know you're pretty high on him. I think his upside, Josh, you've been saying it. He's got stupid elite upside. His biggest thing people say is he has size issues. He's the same height as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. He's 10 pounds lighter than those guys. His route running, elite. His like separation, elite. His catch radius, elite. The guy on paper, you look at it and you go, man, he could be huge for us, especially when we have no weapons on offense. If you're going to take a weapon, if you're going to go the Cincy route and take a receiver and then come back and get a quarterback down the road, do that. Just so you guys remember, this was the worst offense by far in the league. It wasn't even close. It was pitiful. We had 19 passing touchdowns. 9 of them came in 3 games. So that means that we had 10 touchdowns over 14 games. That's fucking embarrassing. I remember thinking, oh, we have to get over 20 points to win a game. That is so just absolutely just mind-blowing to me that we're just, oh, okay, well, we'll just punt it for a couple more years. I don't want to punt it. I want to address it. I want to fix it. Isn't that the strength of Andrew Berry? Address the weakness. Make it a strength. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of just being like, oh, we'll figure it out. Cody Kessler is very accurate. And then he sucks. I'm tired of this shit. I can't do it anymore. Give me something to be excited about. I'm a season ticket holder. Don't make me go up there 8.5 times next year. Okay. I can't do it. And those half times, I'm leaving at halftime sometimes because it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm over it. Yeah, it is what it is. But I am on board with I guess if you're going to trade down with New York to 3, maybe, and you're not going to take a quarterback because you just don't care, take Travis Hunter then.
I think I heard, I was watching a video and it was Dion. And he said with Travis, there is no jump ball when you throw it. It's his ball. Like there is no jump ball. It's just you're throwing it to him. He's going to be the one who gets it. So I originally was like, if I'm not taking quarterback and give me McMillan, I would not be sad about getting Travis Hunter.
No.
So it's especially, I guess my biggest thing was I didn't want to take him because I didn't know where he was going to play, and I don't want a defensive player. I feel like I'm being very clear about that. But if we're going to draft him and we're going to and he's going to play offense 85% of the time, maybe go out there a little bit on defense and, key moments or something like that, I'm fine with. But if he's going to be here to be an offensive weapon, then as much as I 100% believe it should be a quarterback, I'll at least be excited to be getting a guy of his caliber. I'm going to try really hard on draft night to not overreact to what we do at 2, and I want to react to the whole draft. If that, you know what I mean? I don't want to just get like if when the last time we had a first round pick and we were all kind of bummed about Newsome, and then until we then traded back up and snagged JOK, and it was like, oh man, this is actually an awesome draft. It's going to be hard for me though to contain those emotions, especially if they're like with the second pick in the draft, the Browns select a defensive player who doesn't score any touchdowns. I'm just going to be like, oh, please give me patience. It's going to be tough. So, but I just think if it's not quarterback, it's got to be offense, but it should be quarterback. Like it should be the quarterback.
Yeah. And I think that if they go, I talked about Travis Hunter like a couple weeks ago about maybe he would be the type of guy, if they don't go quarterback, that I feel like Andrew Berry would gravitate toward with that, multi-use that he can do. Like you said, put him out there at cornerback a little bit, and it helps on defense. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with doing it a little bit. I don't think the dude can play both ways 100% of the time like he wants to. I don't think that's feasible in the NFL. Maybe he can do it, but I wouldn't bet on it until I actually see somebody actually do it. It's never been done. But it would be interesting, like you're saying, Blake, the rest of the draft. So if they take Travis Hunter at 2, how early in the draft are they taking a cornerback? If they do, if they take a cornerback in like the 4th round, or even like the second pick in the 3rd round, that kind of tells me maybe Greg Newsome could be on the move at some point, because I think he's a nice trade piece, clears up almost like $13-14 million off of the books or the cap for the Browns this year, gives some flexibility or some more rollover into next year, whatever. And then you get Travis Hunter to kind of fill in sparingly on defense. And then you get this new rookie. You've got Denzel, you've got Emerson, you've got Miles Harden, you've got Cam Mitchell. All of a sudden it's like, maybe that's not so bad. In terms of if they go Travis Hunter at 2.
I just know the number one thing, the number 2 thing that'll make me sick is no matter what we do in the first round, if we early in this draft, I hear Jalen Milroe to the Cleveland Browns. That's going to be that is going to be the thing that just grinds my gears. We have a hardcore Alabama fan in our dog pack, and he is screaming from the mountaintops, do not touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. And I'm not taking the least successful Alabama quarterback. Like, the guy is just surrounded by the biggest offensive line, the best wide receivers, the best running backs, the best coaching. Everything is the best where he played in college, and he was the least successful. He was less successful than Matt Jones. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't want another huge project. Like, the thing that I like about Shedeur is we don't have to coach him on how to be accurate. He knows how to be accurate. We don't have to teach him how to read a defense. That's his strength. We don't have to teach him all this stuff. Like, we just have to maybe fine tune some things and get him up to speed. A guy like Milroe, I don't want to deal with an Anthony Richardson. You know what I mean? And I'm not calling him that, but I don't have time for that. I don't want that at all.
If they're taking the next 1 to 2 years to figure it out, I'm just saying that might be the route they go.
Again, if you take a guy like Jalen Milroe, you have to change your offense. You're not going to put him in the same kind of offense you're going to, run with what we want to do. It's going to be square pegs and round holes all over again, and trying to change the offense to where the roster is not suited to do. And we already saw how that went.
And I think I would, and I know we'll never get this information, obviously, because it's all under wraps, but I would just love to have more information on how those private workouts went last week, because we didn't even know that the Browns went and had a private workout with Jalen Milroe and Jackson Dart until they were already over. Usually we get, the media's out there telling us, hey, they've got a private workout scheduled with so-and-so, and they're going to head down there and do this. Here's who's going. It was like a day or two after they'd already had the workouts with these guys that we found out they did it. And I was like, hey, that was kind of weird having under wraps. And I guess just to spin off of last week a little bit, Justin, I know you were on vacation, so I don't know how much of this you were really following, but then they went to Penn State's pro day. They took Abdul Carter out for dinner. And then the next day was his pro day. Kevin Stefanski didn't go to the pro day. He went to Jackson Dart's pro day. And Jimmy and AV stayed with Abdul Carter at Penn State, which I know Abdul Carter wasn't doing anything at the pro day.
Right.
So,
He didn't even work out. Right.
so yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. But there was just so much movement going on last week. And then they say, well, next week we're going to go have a workout with Shador. And now today, I think Mary Kay said they're going to take him out to dinner and not do the workout, just go to the pro day. So I don't know what's going on.
Speaking of the Penn State pro day, I can't be the only one that's a little bit turned off by taking a guy at 2 who's already got 2 injuries. Like before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before we even get, they were supposed to be, he doesn't need surgery. He's gonna work out at his pro day, and now he's not working out. So is it lingering, or is it I just don't want to do anything to hurt my draft stock? I already know I'm good. To me, if he was good, he would want to go out there and show it. I feel like it's lingering a little bit more. I don't want that. I don't need a guy who's banged up. Take him at 2, undersized for our scheme, and doesn't score touchdowns. That's just me.